It's at the homecoming against Dos Santos. It was a very, very good fight. It was against Gary Cochran, who fought in his last fight, fought, fought Jeff Horn for the world title in Australia. And I was going to be a good fight. A win would have brought me a lot off. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, it didn't set me back too much with the Solomon fight. It was a good performance and all, and obviously he's well ahead, ranked me. It didn't do me too much harm apart from the loss, of course. But the win against Cochran would have really boosted me up the rankings, really would have done me good, obviously, with him fighting Horn in his last fight. Getting the Magoo fight, he got stopped. I think it was 11th round. But he gave Horn a very good fight, obviously Horn being world champion. But that fight would have been brilliant. I was just unfortunate. It was my last day of sparring. It was on the Wednesday. I think it was 9 or 10 days before the fight. I was going to spar on Wednesday and Friday. My coach says, right, just in case, today will be our last day sparring, and the end of the second round, I could hit a big uppercut. But it didn't daze me. It didn't knock me down. I'm just where it hit me. I dropped down as the guy. He's a good banger. I dropped down, and I had my mouth open, and he threw a really good uppercut, and it just hit me right in the spot, just the way it hit me, and my jaw just went in two places. But it's healing very good. I got it a few plates on it and got it screws and stuff. So I'm on the mend.
Okay. How long are you expected to be out?
Well, I'm looking. I have to go to the doctor, not this or the consultant, not this week, but the week after, and they'll give me the all clear because everything's perfect so far, and then I'll be able to put it to the British Boxing Board, and they'll give me a date. I'm looking for around about middle of October, end of October.
Wow, that's
So
that's
it hasn't really
that's
it's
actually
put me back
not
a
even
bit, but
that long. That's not that long
yeah, I know
for
they give me
having
10 weeks
played.
healing, but before a spar or anything, so it was the end or the middle of June. So I'm holding it up until maybe the middle of September. So I've started training camp already, and I'm starting training camp on tomorrow. I've done a few sessions last week, a few track sessions and stuff, but I'm starting the camp tomorrow, and that'll bring me up to around, I think it's the middle of October, and that'll be fight time. So I'll get a few weeks over me, and then by the time I'm ready to spar in the middle of end September, I'll get a few weeks sparring and straight back in.
All right, man. That's good. It's good to hear, man. Um,
Yeah, it's good. Well, a lot of people are saying about expecting me to be out for a year or more or whatever, but nah, hardcore straight in. I'll be ready to go. Not dude, I'm stupid, but when I'm ready, I'm ready.
yeah, absolutely, man. You got to take your time on those types of. I mean, those types of injuries. You had a plate and a screw. I mean, that's kind of. Yeah, I mean, that's no walk in the park. I don't think. You know what I'm saying?
No, but I'll be grand. So well, so far I was there a few weeks ago, and they said everything's healing perfect. So that's good. So I'm gonna go. Just a blip on the road. So we'll get the next fight, whether it's maybe a comeback fight or a 4 or 6 rounder, just to get me active again, and then hopefully get that Corcoran fight. And the real deal, the promotions, the guys there, they were actually saying about after the Solomon fight, they said they would love to have me over sometime, and we were talking about maybe get a fight in New York or go to in the on the undercard of the finals of the WBC tournament, which would be brilliant. So maybe something like that. Maybe when Chia beats Solomon, I'll fight Solomon in the undercard,
Wow, man.
get
That's
payback,
yeah,
finish
absolutely.
him this time.
Yeah, man. Absolutely. I think. I mean, once you fight a guy at one time, you learn and you see what you did, either what you did wrong or what he did right, and you learn from it. And then if you ever have a rematch with somebody, you can adjust your game plan, right?
Yeah, that's it. Definitely, it's just very unfortunate the way the judges judged it. But if I get him again, I'll do the job and do it right.
Absolutely, man.
Another
So
good fight for the match.
okay, between Chia Santana and Brad Solomon, who do you have winning? Because you saw both fights, right? Well, I mean,
Yeah, yeah,
you fought one guy and you saw the other guy fight. So
yeah. It is very, very hard because, well, the funny thing is with me and my coach as well, we were saying about it, and this is before the Solomon fight, and he says, if all these fighters, if you could have your pick, you would pick Solomon or to beat because we didn't know some of them. Obviously, we knew Santana was a good fighter. The guy Lubkovic, who was he fought Mayfield on the undercard for the For the substitute position, there was Chris Van Heerden, and there was Felix Diaz, then there was a couple we didn't know, and that guy from Ghana, can't remember his name, he's fighting Van Heerden, he was a banger. So we didn't really know some of them, and some a few dangerous, so we said out of all of them, you would probably pick Solomon. No, he was a good operator. And
Sure.
then on the night, the three best performances, in our opinion anyway, was Santana, Solomon, and myself. From everybody else, there was good, high quality, and all, but they were three best performances of the night. He said, "Fuck, look at the person you pick, the person you could have been fighting, and they're the best on the night." So with them two lads, I think I don't know. I honestly don't know. I would love to see because Shea was a nice guy, and I'm a bit of a fan of him now. Obviously, his style is very fan friendly. It was good to watch. I would like him to win, but on the other hand, just because someone beat me, and if he goes on to win it, that'll look good for me. You know what I mean? I think this would be maybe the final here. Well, not the final, but this would be, I think, the winner who wins between Santana and Solomon will win the whole tournament.
Oh, absolutely.
Definitely.
Okay.
But if his performance there and the way he fights, Solomon could do what he does to most people, and what he done to me, sort of just switches off, relaxes. He's good to keep this distance. He can make you fall asleep, kind of know, like make you get bored, and then come with a shot. Like he comes in with a big right hand or in with a looping hook, and he's good at keeping distance now as well. So we could do that with Santana, but I think if he does lots of dipping and rolling, Chia, he'll be grand so well, and just puts a pressure on him and just keeps cutting him off the ring, because if you cut him off and stay on top of him, he can't do too much. He'll want to sit and relax, but Chia has too much of a high pace, and he's very smart at keeping close distance now as well. So I think that'll be the style to beat him.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I think Solomon's boxing and boxing ability, and just keeping his distance, I think that could pose a problem for Chia. And but if, like you said, if Chia can cut off the ring and keep that high pace aggression and start and win rounds, I mean that. It's definitely a flip of the coin to me. I really don't, I don't really have a favorite. I know who I want 50, to win.
I'm looking forward to watch it, so I think it'll be brilliant.
Absolutely, man. So, does Paddy Gallagher have any other business ventures outside of boxing? What other kind of what else? What else are you doing out here?
I'm personal trainer outside of boxing, because we don't get I'm not making enough in boxing just yet. Maybe a year or two down the lane, I'll be raking it in Money Mayweather style. If only it was all like that. But no, I'm PT, like a personal trainer outside, so I am. So that's going well. So it is. Obviously, I've got my own family. I've got a missus and 2 kids, so got to keep my head above water.
Absolutely. Chia Santana, he also works full-time job on a naval base.
Yeah, he was telling me he's up at 5 a.m. I think he goes a run at something like 4 or 5 a.m. and then he works all day, and then he goes to the gym at night, and he's got a family as well. So fair play. I didn't know about him. I thought he'd be full time, obviously with the big fights now he has, but fair play him as well. A lot of commitment.
Absolutely, because I don't know. I guess people that are not really like hardcore boxing fans, or like really into it to see, like, or even understand, like, some people box on the side, but they do have full-time jobs. They got families. I mean, and not everybody makes the big bucks, like, especially right away, or later on down the line. You just never.
Many people have probably said to you, and they've said to me as well, but I think when they come into boxing, like, there's a guy, Sideline Films, Ollie McKenzie, you call him. He's making a lot of stuff here, a lot of documentaries. He's doing a lot of work with the boxers over here. It was him who said to me. A lot of people said, but it was him who really stood out to me. He was saying about when he started doing it. It was about, I think I was about the 3rd or 4th boxer he made a video for, and he said it's mad when you think of pro boxers. You just see all this money, and obviously everybody's flashy and dashy with Mayweather, and what you see on Instagram and all. You think, oh, they're all loaded and they all drive big BMs. And they all don't work. They all have I don't know, playboy lifestyle maybe. But that's not the way it is. We're just normal people. It's hard to get by as well. Do you know what I mean? Like you said, have families. we've got full-time jobs, we've got to do that. We do boxing. Maybe it is people's main priority, and it's people's ambition to do well, not other or outside of anything else, job-wise. But it just don't get the supplies enough for you. Just don't make the big dough, and you can't live off it really until you make it big time. And that's what's brilliant about this WBC tournament. Obviously, the prize money's very good, but off the back of it, you win the WBC silver belt, and you're a fight or two off a world title shot. So that's where you could make a good living.
Absolutely. So, I mean, have you? Okay, you won the Commonwealth Games in 2010 with the gold medal against Callum Smith, right?
Yeah.
Does it blow your mind a little bit? Does it? I mean, now he's in the World Boxing Super Series in the final against St. George Groves. I mean, elaborate on that.
Yeah, it is a bit mad. He's probably twice the size of me, so he's about 3 or 4 weights above me.
Yeah,
But it just goes to show you the way things are. I've always said, and, well, not always, but the last maybe 2 or 3 years, once I understood pro boxing, when I was in it, when I got good stuff, when I got bad stuff, when I got things happening and stuff as well, the best way to make it in pro boxing is have a good team around you. And the first few years, I was back and forward, and management and trainers, all things just weren't working out. But over the last year and a half, I've been with NTK and I've been with Jared, and it's been the best, most successful year and a half. And it's most I enjoyed as well because I've a brilliant management team, brilliant training team around me as well. So that's where it goes. And with Callum Smith and a lot of the boys from the GB squad, they go, most of them, a good majority of them, they sign up with Eddie Hearn, who has a massive platform with Matchroom, and obviously he's breaking into America as well. So they've got him right away on their backs, and Al Simon's more or less sorted. You know what I mean? He'll keep everything good. He'll manage them. They'll get the right fights. They've got the money put on the big shows and get them exposure and get them right kind of fights as well. Obviously, you need to be a bit talented at least. But obviously, they're good fighters and all as well. But there's other people who would be just as good, just don't have a good team around them and don't get as far.
Yeah, because when you fought him in the Commonwealth Games, what division was that? Was that a welterweight, 147, or?
I think it's.
That was 8 years ago, so I mean that was a while ago.
I think it's they work out about 152. I think it is. It's 69 kilo.
Okay, so 152. I mean, I'll call that junior middleweight, I guess. I mean, so you went down then.
Yeah, that's it as well. It was as an amateur. It was 64 kilo and then 69. I couldn't make 64 anymore, so it was 69 kilo, and then obviously I dropped down to 66.7. I think it is.
And then
in professional, so it did come down a wee bit. And then obviously he went up. He was big. He was mad. I think he's like 6'2" or 6'3", just a big skinny lad. And apparently he was finding it hard to pick up weight, but it was my first competition ever that I was 69 kilo, and it worked out alright.
So I mean, okay, so he's a tall guy. So over 8 years, he just had to fill up and kind of just go up in weight classes, right? I mean, over the years, right?
If I don't know, if you go on, watch the video, it'll be on YouTube, me fighting him, or photos of back then. Then it's like a different person. He's massive. He's well filled out, and he's a different athlete.
For sure.
So he's getting all the success. I'm actually looking forward to that fight. I think it'll be good.
Yeah, who wins? Who do you think wins between Callum Smith and St. George Groves? Just like you, when I saw you the first time, I first saw St. George Groves against I forget his name. I think he was on an Anthony Joshua undercard. He won the title then, or
yeah,
it was against
probably against Paul Smith, was it?
It was against, I don't know, maybe a Russian dude or something. Hold on, I gotta check this out.
Oh, was it last year? Was it?
I believe so. It was last year. Okay, I'm gonna look up here.
I think it was
Chudinov. Fedor Chudinov.
Yeah.
So
I was an unbelievable fight. A guy Chudinov, he didn't go down. He got shot, and Groves is a big banger. Apparently, he's a serious banger.
Oh, dude.
Chudinov, he didn't go down. That was some win for Groves. Brilliant. That was good for him.
Absolutely, man. I was like, whoa, this guy's pretty bad, and he TKO'd him, and Chudinov was like a come forward guy, and he just kept hitting, I think Chudinov might have even been the favorite in that.